President-elect Donald Trump is full steam ahead picking key members of his administration. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has voiced many controversial views on public health, was just selected for Health and Human Services Secretary, a role which oversees agencies such as the CDC and the FDA. During a gala last night at his Mar-a-Lago estate, Trump discussed his decision to tap RFK Jr. for this role.
So if you like health and if you like people that live a long time, it's the most important position. RFK Jr., we want you to come up with things and ideas and what you've been talking about for a long time, and I think you're going to do some unbelievable thing. Nobody's going to be able to do it like you.
Here are some other new additions to Trump's team. It includes North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum for Secretary of the Interior, and Attorney Todd Blanche, who you remember defended Trump during the criminal trial here in New York, for Deputy Attorney General. In addition, he's appointing former Congressman Doug Collins to head the Department of Veteran Affairs. Sources also tell CBS News that investor Scott Bessent is the leading contender to be Treasury Secretary. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes is following all of these fast-moving developments for us from Washington this morning. Nancy, let's start at the top. What can you tell us about some of the policies RFK Kennedy Jr. says he will push for if indeed he does become the Health and Human Services Secretary?
Well, he has a very aggressive, ambitious, and controversial agenda, Errol. Good to be with you. He has talked about wanting to carry out mass firings of government scientists and health officials right on day one. He has talked about wanting to rid the nation's diet of seed oils. That's something that he is very concerned about. Many health experts don't agree with him about that, or about his promotion of things like raw milk or hydroxychloroquine to address COVID-19. He has spread some conspiracy theories about COVID-19, about vaccines. He has talked about wanting to make vaccines optional rather than mandatory, or at least give families the option of whether to get those vaccines or not. He's talked about wanting to encourage local municipalities to get fluoride out of their water system. So he's got a lot of goals, many of which alarm health experts in this country, and that's part of the reason why it's still an open question whether he can actually get confirmed. And
President-elect Trump seems to feel that he has a mandate from the American people to shake things up the way he seems fit. His decision to nominate Matt Gaetz, for example, for Attorney General, though, that's been seen as quite controversial because there's speculation that he may not get the votes needed to be confirmed by the Senate. Let me just quickly play a clip for our viewers from Republican Senator Kevin Cramer about this.
I have concerns that he can't get across the finish line, and we're going to spend a lot of political capital. I say we. A lot of people will spend a lot of political capital on something that even if they got done, you'd have to wonder if it was worth it.
And you also have this House Ethics Committee probe into allegations of sexual misconduct committed by Gaetz. He denies any wrongdoing, but how influential could that report be if it is leaked or revealed somehow?
Right. So the question is whether it will ever see the light of day now that Gaetz has resigned from the House just a couple of days before the House Ethics Committee is scheduled to take a vote today about whether to release that report. Typically, the Ethics Committee stops investigating you once you're no longer in Congress. They are there to investigate members of Congress. So it looks unlikely that they will vote to publicly release this report. The question is, do they give the completed report to the Senate in some kind of confidential fashion, because you have even some Senate Republicans saying, hey, this guy has been nominated to be the top law enforcement official in this country. If there's a report that has been completed by House ethics members that has some damning allegations in it, we'd at least like to see it before we vote.